Okay, my fellow car care boys and girls, as promised, I told you I'm going to be taking you on a journey of what's inside my head. And on the last video, a lot of people have noticed that I gave a hint on something that is a 2.1, not a new product, but a re-engineered product, because we're trying to chase the final 1%, let's put it that way. So, as you know, we have a very good factory in South Korea that has allowed us to manufacture each towel to our specific blend. After thousands of hours of engineering, and then testing, re-engineering, you know, every single weave and blend has been done to what we need, to what we want, and I can quite proudly say it is the best that money can buy per fibre within the microfiber range. And you know that we were, and still, the only company on planet Earth, right? And this sounds even more ridiculous to me as I say this out loud. We are still the only company out there who looked at the wash pad sector and said, no, this is not acceptable. What is here, yes, it may work. But what happens if we completely open every single tap? And our tri-fiber blend was born. 3 independent fibers working in cohesion, in unison, to give you the very best wash experience that you can ever have, okay? So you know that story. But then again, when you make something, when you actually make a new path and you go off the beaten path and you try to make your own roads, it's not actually that easy. When you look at the end project and the end result, you think it's a wash pad, but trying to make that goddamn thing is sometimes easier said than done. So our tri-fiber wash pad was, again, custom blended, custom foam inserted, custom hand stitched, and again, because it was our very first batch, we expected teething problems, which we did. Now to us, huge problem, world ender, World War VII. To everybody else who we told this about, they're like, guys, are you smoking something? I said, yes, we must be. So there was a little bit of a bump, a bit of an unevenness. So we said, no, unacceptable. So 2.1 is born. This is just, I mean, look at that. Look at that. That is as flat, look at that, whoosh. That is as flat as you're ever gonna get it. That is literally, I said, listen guys, you need to get your best people on this, on every single pad, and I needed my, manufacturing under a microscope, because we will reject the shipment. Yes sir, no sir, done, no problem, right? Wow. Now this, we fixed the problem that nobody ever had. I'm not gonna lie. Nobody had the problem, everybody is still super happy. They're like, guys, there was a 2% deviation or a 2-degree deviation in the wash pad. I'm like, yeah, but there should be 0%, guys, right? So, I am actually I'm super stoked. So I'm going to, again, I'm doing another one of my maintenance washes. I'm going to try and do a little bit of a talk about the wash pad. Let's go. So part of this dream that I call life, and I honestly think if you're in this field anyway, if you don't like car care, then you're probably thinking you are talking absolute tripe, Nick. But if you are within car care, I honestly think that what we're doing is like literally the dream life, because we've got the opportunity to actually say no to the usual goings on of this industry. And I'm not saying the other way is wrong, by the way. I have never said this. It's just not the way that I want to do it. It's just sometimes people misconceive what I say, that if it's either our way or no way. No, not at all. But all I ask is for people to at least, even if they don't understand it, at least respect, that there are 100 different ways of doing it. I respect people wanting to go to a certain website and call something a wheel woolly that isn't a wheel woolly. In fact, no, I don't respect it, but I understand it. You want a cheap cost price and you want something that's going to break after 4.5 wheel cleans. Fine, if you want to live the stressful life, you do it. I'd rather sell you a brush and not speak to you for 15 years. That's just the way we are. And that is the same thing with this wash pad, right? The way this holds water, solution, and then the way it literally, look, it bleeds it. It's literally completely gone, look. The way it disperses, but then again, puts the product on the panel, and the way it glides is just a thing that you have to experience for yourself. Now, we have, of course, not changed the construction in any way. However, there are certain things that I think needed to be changed. And it's more on the aesthetic part of the wash pad. As I said, solving problems that people didn't even think existed within their life. But this is the thing where, as I said, this is a big dream for me, because I've been speaking to a few people recently, and the consensus is the same. What we do is safe, it's guaranteed. Now, to pay for safety in any industry, whether it be skincare, automotive care, insurance, whatever, you pay for safety. Every time that you spend your hard-earned cash, which is getting harder and harder to earn every single day, you know that a product is going to perform how it is. But also the most important thing, and this literally lies so close into my heart, is when we make something, we are actually supporting an actual industry. And what I mean by an industry, I don't mean the detailing industry. I mean the industry of job, the industry of manufacture. Now, a lot of people will be like, Nick, what are you talking about? I'm going to dive a little bit deeper. Now, again, can you see how deep I'm going about this? This is a wash pad we're talking, for Pete's sake. Wash pad. But still, it's very important. I believe that there are people out there are even at the much bigger level, which you guys obviously are not interested in or should not be interested in. But at the raw level, when you're buying tons of weave or tons of whatever raw materials, that there are jobs involved in this. There's livelihoods, there's children's futures, whatever, really, really deep. So when we're like, right, okay, we're going to support an industry where, thousands of people working, and they have to go and weave this by hand and pick it from the field or synthetically manufacture it depending on the material, we know that we're supporting it, rather than somebody in a one-man band garage, and this is in no way my next sentence in any way derogatory, but rather than that one man waiting, let's say 3 years, 3 months, whatever it may be, depending on the product, and then getting basically all the intellectual property idea, and then going to where. I'm not even going to give their website an advertising platform. And then basically there is another two-man band factory out there who'd be like, yep, we're going to absolutely rip this off. I don't care if a company has spent millions into a development fund or budget, and we're just going to sell it to you, and it's going to cost you 12 pence. So what then happens is the actual manufacturer, the actual raw supplier, who has spent like I said, in some case millions, and has got a big bill to pay with jobs, all of a sudden, all that work is being ripped off. The quality is absolutely horrific, and it just rolls downhill from there. So when we do it, going back to it, honestly, this is my dream, because I'm like, right, we're doing the right thing at the end of the day. And this is where I sleep very, very well at night. I go to bed and we're like, we haven't hurt anybody. We have supported the growth of the industry, because ultimately, when you look at it, I look very deep into this. People go into the comments first, oh, there's no innovation in this industry. There's no this, there's no that. I'm like, yeah, because you're not supporting the real industry. You'd rather, this is where human psychology really comes into it. You would much rather almost live like a double life and say the right thing publicly in a comment, but privately, where it really matters, come in and support the thing that I've just told you not to support. And this is where the industry has no innovation. And this is where, for me, this wash pad is an extremely proud achievement, because one, we have actually leveled the playing field massively. In fact, not leveled, up the playing field. It's so cold here right now, it's like 1.5 degrees, I'm absolutely freezing. So we've upped the playing field to a level now where I know for a fact, you know, some of the biggest microfiber manufacturers will be looking in on this and be like, well, why am I still doing something from 1964? And this is where, in a good way, let's bring the competition, because more competition means you win as the customer. So, I told you, I think deep, this is a bloody wash pad. This is a wash pad at the heart of it. But still, I think very deep. This is where then innovation comes, because you almost, as the companies, you start fighting with each other. You're like, right, tri-blend, quad blend, hex blend. And it just starts, in this case, rolling downhill in such a fantastic way. Because then, if you're a real company anyway, and you want to have the best, like some people claim, come on then. Here we are, the ball is in your court. By the way, that looks super slick. The ball's in your court. Come on, there we are. Beat this. We won't be beaten for a very, very long time. And when it gets close to it, we'll have your quad blend, hex blend, whatever it is that it may be at the time. And obviously technology moves at a pace that is sometimes exponential. So what is now in 2020, well, in fact, when we launched this, when was it, 2023? But we're now in 2025. You may look back in 20 years and go, tri-blend, now there's 18 blend wash pads. But that is because we're just at the minute beholden to our technological advances. Let's put it that way. But this is why, for me, you know, when we work into work, and the team that we've got, you know, new people starting very soon as well, they're going to be led down this path of, you need to chase excellence in every day. Even if you speak to a customer, it's how you speak to your customer, it's how you treat a customer, it's how you know, pack this wash pad, we kiss it goodnight, etc., etc. So in every aspect of life, we want to obviously achieve the best, because ultimately, through the lens, now that you're watching this, is my ultimate goal for you, is to have an unbelievable experience on a Saturday, Sunday. You're only 2 days off at work, you're washing whatever car that it may be, right? It doesn't really matter, it could be a $500 car, £500 car, I don't really care. But for those 2 days off, it's pure escapism. Like, you go into almost like a virtual reality of, you know, looking after your mental health and all these type of things. And it all stems ultimately with the seed of something as simple as a wash pad. I think I should be called Dr. Phil, but Dr. Nick. ITV, come on, come give me a TV show slot. Let's go. But hopefully you understand what I mean. I tried to say it in the most, you know, simple way without making this almost into a bloody wash and chat. But this is proud for us. 2.1, we've perfected it now. And now we, as we speak anyway, we're chasing version 3. And then version 4 and version 5. And eventually, you know, we keep elevating your experience to such a level that you're like, Lord, help me. What is going on here? But hopefully that's given you a bit of an insight as to why we chase the smallest kind of details. Why do you need to elevate a wash pad? Hopefully in the last 5-10 minutes I've explained why and why it means so much to us, and why, you know, the contracts that we have and the dealers that we have, it's, you know, it's ultra special to us because we choose the best in the field. Our distributors are the same. We choose the very best. So this website right now, this wash pad is live as we speak on the website. If you're too lazy to go to the website and hunt through it, in the video description is the link directly to the website. If you're already on the website, you'll see this video below the product page because that's how we do it, right? We showcase everything that we do. And then when you do get to use this, please comment on this video, send us an email, or in the Facebook community group. Just let me know your thoughts. Post a selfie with a wash pad. Don't let your wife see that because she'll like literally just divorce you and punt you right out the house. But do everything apart from the selfie with a wash pad. But if you do want to send me a selfie with a wash pad, I'll take that too, all right? And yeah, enjoy this. Very, very, very cool wash pad, and it's the best that you will ever use for your car. So again, more and more niche content. As you can see, we're building and we're building and we're building. So I hope that you do enjoy it, and more niche content. I think April 1st for you is going to be absolutely mind-blown with what's coming. And as always, guys, I'll catch you on the very next one.